Welcome to Aired Out, brought to you by Capitol Showplace Montpelier and Paramount Theater Barre. At FGBtheaters.com, CW Print and Design in Barre, at CWPrintDesign.com, Peak Entertainment, PeakDJ.com, Cruise Planners, your land and cruise experts. In Vermont, CruisePlanners.com, Donnybrook Fight Promotions of Williamstown, CBDCrave.com. Presented by CVTV, Public Access Channel 192 and 194, CVTV723.org, Fontaine Forestry and Millworks, Route 14 East Montpelier. Custom orders, rough, kiln dry, plain, tongue and groove, or shiplap. FontaineMillworks.com and Fly on the Wall Productions. Now, let's get aired out. Wednesday night, you've got Aired Out. I'm JD Green. Today on the show, we're going to do something just a little bit different. I'm going to be by myself just for a little while here, and I've kind of planned that for a few different reasons. I want to just take a minute here on this Wednesday evening and just quickly thank some of my sponsors, actually all of my sponsors, which are, just hang with me here for a second. These are wonderful people who have given me the opportunity, along with Central Vermont Television, to explore something new in my life. And without them supporting me, encouraging me, I don't know that I would be trying this new venture of a podcast, which is certainly very new to me, being in radio for so long. To be able to do this and be in a TV studio with cameras is certainly something very different, and nothing that I've ever been accustomed to. So this is all new to me. That's part of the reason why I'm always saying that this is constantly going to be evolving. I want to thank Molly and her entire team over at CW Print and Design. I don't know if you've been into their new location right next to the Lenny's Outlet on North Main Street in Barre, but they've been family-owned and operated since 1994, and they have really stepped up and supported this, and I want to thank them. Also, Donnybrook Fight Promotions, Rex Thompson. As you know, he's had a couple of opportunities here on this podcast to promote some great stuff that he's bringing to the Granite City. Donnybrook Fight Promotions, Rex Thompson, thank you, along with Granite City MMA, for just being a great bunch of guys and coming on the show. Peak Entertainment, Newton Wells, PeakDJ.com. Been a friend of mine for a long time. One of the first friends that I ever made in Vermont. And he's just a dear guy and a very successful entrepreneur who's been so successful already with his company, which has been around, I can't believe, since 1996. PeakDJ.com, Peak Entertainment, CBDCrave.com, Chris Dagnese and company. This guy really knows CBD, all about it. I mean, I've had a couple of lessons from him over the phone while I'm driving, listening to him trying to teach me about the benefits of CBD and cannabinoids and all that stuff. I'm still learning about it, but CBDCrave.com is a fantastic company that Chris Dagnese is the captain of, and he'll answer any of your questions. He'll steer you in the right direction. My mom is on his products. Fantastic stuff. I've got a good number of friends here in Central Vermont who have tried his products, and he's got it all, from peanut butter and honey to dog treats. You can see some of the products here. They're always on the table when we shoot this podcast. So thank you, Chris Dagnese. Richard Bashara, Teddy Cheney of FGB Theaters, the Capitol Showplace Theater in Montpelier, the Paramount Theater in Barre. They're always doing great things over there and bringing you the hottest new films. Don't forget, Thursday, May 30th, FGB Theaters is proud to welcome the debut of the Elton John biopic, Rocket Man. And I'm going to bring the podcast live right out in front of the theater at the Capitol Showplace that night for the debut of Rocket Man. We would love to have you come out and enjoy that with us Thursday night, May 30th. Save that date. Cruise planners, Donna Sherman, luxury travel specialist. Here's the cool part. She's right here in our backyard in central Vermont. And, I was flipping through her Facebook page and her website yesterday. She is linked up with pretty much every cruise line that there is. Some of the big ones, actually all of the big ones. She'll do anything. And it's not just, when you hear cruise planners, don't be mistaken to think that all she does is cruises. No. She'll do anything you want. You can dream it. She'll make it a reality for you. Cruise planners. Her website is yourvoyageplanner.com. Donna Sherman, great lady, cruise planners. Your land and cruise experts. So I am so happy that they're supporting Aired Out also, and a sponsor. And who knows? Before next winter, I'll probably have a vacation booked with her. But yeah, she does all kinds of, you name it, from exotic stuff to a simple cruise. You want to set sail out of Boston or Miami, or you want airfare included, she'll take very good care of you. You get the meal package, the drink package, all that stuff. But great website. If you have a chance, yourvoyageplanner.com. I know there's plenty of huge travel agencies out there to choose from, but Donna will be that one-on-one contact for you and take very good care of you. Who else? Of course, our presenting sponsor, Fontaine Forestry and Millwork in East Montpelier on Route 14, just down the road from Bragg Farm. Custom orders, rough cut, planed, tongue and groove, shiplap, kiln dried, hardwoods, pine, you name it. And I say this every time, you name it, they'll do it. If you can dream it up, Mark Fontaine and the rest of the family there at the mill will make it come true to life for you. Whether you're building a timber frame home or you just want a beautiful bar for the inside, or an island, or maybe you're doing some siding. I need to do that this summer, so I'll be over there soon. Plus, they've got the bark mulch. They are fantastic people over there, the whole team. To see Mark Fontaine run that miser saw is like something I've never seen before. So if you do stop in, you should stop in, and when you do, please tell Mark Fontaine and the rest of the guys that JD sent you and you've been checking out the podcast. I love going over there. I'm not a woodworker, but I'm so fascinated and have so much appreciation for the level of talent that comes out of that place. Unbelievable. So that's our presenting sponsor, Fontaine Forestry and Millwork. Central Vermont Television, of course, Tony Campos and Abubakar, amazing guy. He's my producer, looking at me through the glass over there. Just super people, both of them, who are helping me constantly, and without their support, definitely this wouldn't be happening. This new chapter in my life of trying out a podcast. We have had, over the last 4 months, a great lineup of shows so far. We just had Cervantes dog training. We had Mark Scott in here and Mark Schiestel from the Vermont Fish and Wildlife talking about the new hunting rules. We had Maple Leaf Mutts on, the People's Health and Wellness Clinic. Anson Tebbets was in here just a little while ago from the Agency of Ag talking about hemp. Donnybrook Fight Promotions a couple of times, Rex Thompson. Jamie Heath with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Berlin Police Sergeant Chad Bassett. Got a huge award here on Aired Out, which I was so honored to be a part of. Jason Gold, two great guys. Can't wait to do something more with them this summer. Burr Morse was in here, CEO of Front Porch Forum. Michael, trying to remember his last name, Wood Lewis, Michael Wood Lewis. And man, you talk about an entrepreneur. Oh my God, that guy was unbelievable. We had a Vermont farmer by the name of Alan Mills, who drove all the way up from just outside of Rutland and came up here for the show. Barre the Needle Tattoo. John Gales of Brewview and the Best of Burlington and Best of Central Vermont. Nutty Steph's, which was such a fun show. Jamie Lee Thurston, John Gilmore, John Sell and Christian Sell. Berrytown Thunder Chickens, Dave Rouleau. Boots and Balls a couple of times. We had Freezing Fun for Families, Corey Touchette, Tim Brick, Steve Pappas, Rusty Deweese, Chad Hollister, oh my God, Newton Wells, Sue Skaskew, Jimmy T. Thurston, Barre City Deputy Chief Joe Aldsworth, Mike Pelcher, and we started this 4 months ago with Jean-Miguel Barreto, the Deputy Sergeant of the Orange County Sheriff's Department, talking about drinking and driving. That was just before New Year's. That was in between Christmas and New Year's at the very beginning of 2019. Wow. Does time fly? Good number of shows, fantastic analytics so far that are very encouraging and I'm so excited about. Upcoming shows, we have Steve Pappas, who's going to be stepping into the studio once again, returning to Aired Out. He's the editor-in-chief of the Times-Argus and Rutland Herald. If you missed his first show, you got to go back and watch it. He's going to be coming back, and I can hardly wait. Let's see, what else is on my calendar here? Oh, Mother's Day on Sunday. Of course, you haven't forgotten, right? Let's see. Nursing Home Week is next week, and I've been waiting for Sean Hallisey from Priority Healthcare to come on with me now for a while. He is the director at Barre Gardens, the old Rowan Court here in Barre, and he will be on with me next week, which I really am looking forward to. Also, Buzz Fisher and Debbie Haskins are going to be coming on talking about the Just Breathe Suicide Awareness Walk that's coming up. Man, there's so much happening in Central Vermont. Bikers for Beth, the weekend after this one on Sunday the 19th. We have David Smith, who's going to be on the show, Chuck Barney, Tim Hohen from Four Legs and a Tail, Alan Newman of Magic Hat, Russ Bennett, and Mike Pelcher are all going to be coming in here. Let's see, I think that's the very tail end of this month, which is going to be an amazing show. Don't miss that one. ACT, the American Canadian Tour. We're going to be talking about the Memorial Day Classic, and there's going to be plenty of drivers here in the studio. And, man, it goes on from there. Dave Keller, Chad Hollister, and Shrimp are all going to be in here talking about the big Pitts Quattrone show benefit at the Barre Opera House on Friday night, June 7th. It just goes on from there. There's so many guests. I'm well into almost the end of June at this point. So I'm so excited. I started in radio when I was 19 years old, which I had to kind of stop and think about over the last few days. I was 19 in 1989. Well, you can do the math and figure out how old I am. I'm 48. I started at Castleton State College, which is now Castleton University, in the beautiful town of Castleton, Vermont, with Tad Lemire. And I don't know if Tad's watching or listening, but he was the dude that pretty much thrust me into this crazy business in 1989, filling in for him at the little college radio station, which I think is WIUV. And I had a show called The Blown Fuse. It was a fusion jazz show late at night, and I was just bitten by the bug right off. Went to Connecticut, worked for Connecticut Public Radio, came back up to Vermont, worked for a few stations down in Connecticut and Springfield, Massachusetts, and came back up to Vermont and got hired at Classic Hits 101.7, which was in the Red Barn Shops in Stowe, which obviously is no longer there. That's the old WRFB. And I met Frankie Allen, who turned into, he was my program director, but he turned into so much more than that, a mentor, a very good friend, one of my best friends still to this day, who taught me so much about radio, more than anybody. Then Ken Squire came along and purchased that radio station, turned classical for about, I want to say 18 or 19 years, 16 years, something like that. Long time, almost 20 years. And then I went and worked for WDEV for a few years in Waterbury, doing nights there, running ESPN and dinner jazz, and kind of learning the ropes of the Radio Vermont group. Then I went and worked for Moo 92 up in Derby, and then Froggy 100.9 in October of 2000. I think it was October 4th that we went on the air. And 14 years later, through a marriage, a divorce, Sherilyn coming into my life, and in 2014, Lily coming into the world. What a run it was at Froggy 100.9 with everything, from Buddy and Sherilyn and Lily and so many countless Vermonters. I think most of the friends that I have, that friendship originated through Froggy 100.9. That is and I've said this all along, that is the single greatest part of my entire career in radio, is the friends that I have made, the relationships that I've been able to foster over all these years. And Froggy was, no question, the meat of it. Best part of my job was just meeting so many of you, and the relationships that have unfolded and continue still to this day. That folks start out as listeners and end up as some of your best friends, like Randy and Peggy Henry, and just folks like that. I'm very, very lucky, very blessed. So is Sherilyn. And then leaving Froggy in 2016 in September and going to 101 The One, which was a highly significant point of my career, because I remember when 101 The One was born, and I knew that Frankie Allen was spearheading that along with Eric Michaels, and I remember the morning that they went on the air and hearing them and saying, man, it would be incredible if I were someday able to go full circle and end up back at the same frequency of the first radio station that I started in Vermont, 101.7, which was Classic Hits 101.7, and then it went to 101 The One. Still Frankie Allen driving the bus over there as the program director, programming all the music and making that radio station what it is, which it sounds like $1 million. There's no radio station like it anywhere in Vermont. I might even say the region. Nobody's got a playlist like that. Nobody programs music like that anymore. They program it like stations were programmed back in the 70s. Huge variety. So anyway, so I've gone full circle, and I've ended up back at 101.7. Amazingly, with Frankie Allen still, as I said, the man in command over there, and went back to 101.7 where I started. Frankie, still my boss, and I've been there since September of 2016, which is hard to believe. It's already been a couple of years so quickly. So this coming Friday will be my last day on the air. I have given my 2-week notice, a week and a half ago, and I am going to be moving on to some different and new and exciting challenges in my life. One of them being this podcast, which I'm so encouraged by and so excited about. I think about it all the time. I'm always thinking of new guests, folks that I want to have on, and I'm constantly on my phone trying to book those guests and just reworking things. I'm so excited about this. This is still going to allow me to have a direct and intimate connection with the community, and without Tony Campos, wouldn't be happening. I'd probably be doing this from my bedroom at my home with some crappy cameras. Tony has so graciously allowed me the use of these studios here at Central Vermont Television in Barre to be able to do this, and I'll be indebted to him for a long time. I thank him so much. So I'm going to, I've just decided that, we're all super busy. We're all, well, most of us anyway, are, if you're like me, you're overcommitted and you got a lot on your plate. And there have been some pretty drastic, consistent changes that have happened in the radio industry over the years that I've really noticed. I not only have read about it, but I've also witnessed it firsthand. Technology has come into the smaller markets and has changed what we used to know as local radio. Now, I'll tell you, one of the greatest things about working at 101 The One is that when you heard a disc jockey on the air, they really were on the air live, not pre-recorded. That is something I never wanted to lose, and I believe it is going to remain that way. Part of that philosophy is the Radio Vermont Group philosophy of, if you got a disc jockey on the air, they need to be live, which is really admirable. Radio stations are not going that way anymore. There's so much technology. The industry is changing. Revenue's been affected. And it doesn't matter what radio station it is. Big market, medium market, small market. Radio is a different animal today than it was 10 years ago, even. Especially 15 years ago or 20 years ago. So here I am. Just a couple of months shy of 30 years in radio, most of which is morning radio, and an alarm clock that goes off at 3:30, 3:45, 4 o'clock, 4:15, 4:30, 4:45. I've got a little girl that's growing up right out from underneath me. Lily is now 4 years old. Pretty soon she'll be 5. In 2016, my mom and dad came back up to New England from North Carolina, and they both have some rather serious health issues, which I'm probably going to get into a later time and air that out, tell you all about that. Super personal. I kind of have to digest how I'm going to go about doing that, but I am. My plan is to do that. But that has been a huge game changer for me personally. My mom is at Barre Gardens, which is the old Rowan Court, right here in the Granite City. I'm there all the time with her, and it's a lot. It's an awful lot. I've decided that I need to try something different. This podcast is certainly one of those things, but it's not everything. I'm going to be involved with a few different projects and some different endeavors, and I'm going to be trying some new things. But I definitely, number one, I need a break from full-time radio, which is not the most lucrative business in the whole wide world, especially when you're doing a morning show. It hasn't been sustainable for me. It doesn't make sense to continue down the path that I'm going down with a little girl who's growing up so fast, who needs my attention, needs me to not be falling asleep at 6 o'clock at night, and a mom who is here in a local nursing home who needs me to be more awake as well. So with that, I've made the decision, along with Sherilyn at my side, supporting this decision, to shift gears and to be able to drop the clutch and try something new after 30 years in radio and being so familiar with radio broadcasting is can be a little intimidating, but I love a challenge. I really want to start something fresh and something new. Maybe stay up past 9 o'clock at night, but to begin my day, my mornings, with my little girl Lily every day, 7 days a week, is absolutely of key importance to me. And I have to put my foot down, and I have to say, nothing's going to stop me from doing that anymore. Got to do it. So I want to thank you for being a listener all these years, whether it was at Froggy or 101 The One, or maybe both stations, or maybe all the way back to Classic Hits 101.7 in Stowe, or WDEV back in the late 90s. Maybe it was Mood 92 up in the Northeast Kingdom. But will I ever get back into radio? Who the heck knows? Who knows? Probably not. But I want to thank you for watching and listening to Aired Out and allowing me the opportunity to continue this connection. I'm going to do all I can to bring on entertaining guests. We're going to have fun. And I'm still going to be the things I love to do. I'm still going to be the person that I am, even though this isn't technically radio. I love YouTube. I love the social media connection is just so exciting to me. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for understanding. And thank you for subscribing to my podcast. Please send me emails. Give me some suggestions and some ideas of who you would love to see on this YouTube podcast, which is also broadcast on Public Access 192 and 194 Central Vermont Television. And that's it. I just wanted to say thank you and God bless. And I hope to bump into you again real soon. Thank you.